Coming up right now, you know him, you love him, it's Uriah Westman!
Keep going for Liz! Great to be here. Man, I'm not close with my family, and I don't have any money, so if it means if I died surrounded by my family, it means I was murdered. Because I only exist right now on Earth now because my parents were in cults growing up. Yeah. You know how normally parents, if they really truly love each other, they just meet, and that's how we love each other. It was a prearranged marriage where the leader of the cult told them they were twin flames, the cult version of soulmates. Get together, have 3 kids, and name one of them Uriah. Oh, that's my origin story. So it's yeah, man, what they do with my ashes, they were give it to Archangel Michael and be spread these ashes, Archangel Michael. It's angels don't exist. Is this relatable, guys? Oh, no. Oh, man, because the thing was, it wasn't one cult, it wasn't 2 cults, it was 3 different cults, man. Man, my life was like Goldilocks and the 3 bears of cults. But instead of Goldilocks, it was me. Instead of a fairy tale, it was more of a demonic tale that I was raised and told that half the people on Earth were actually demons and aliens in human form that are entirely energized by rock music, negative energy, and abortions. And the leader of this cult was Elizabeth Clare Prophet. Come on, right there. 3 names? I have 3 names, but I don't use 3 names. Why? Because I respect people. And this was called the Church Universal and Triumphant. It was a Christian fundamentalist and New Age cult. And what that means is it just steals from a bunch of different religions, like a smash and grab, taking anything of value. Hey, let's take some Buddhism. Hey, some Eastern spirituality, crystals, patriotism. They were the Long Island iced tea of cults. Because if you put everything together, you can barely taste the homophobia. And as time went on, they thought the world was going to end, so they started building bomb shelters. And my dad helped build these bomb shelters, so I don't think they would work. Because my dad developed condos that were built so bad they de-gentrified the neighborhood. People are like, oh, Westman Construction's coming in, our rent's gonna go down. But spoiler alert, the world did not end. Turns out the only doomsday was my parents' marriage. So what ended up happening is my mom started using the ideology of the cult and started calling my dad a demon. And whatever reality you believe, you're just going to believe it. It's like my parents are the most trustworthy people I know. Because you can't talk to strangers. It's only my parents. So, but I'd go in the ham with my dad. Let's watch movies. I'm like, this isn't what a demon would do. But then he wouldn't be prepared, so he'd serve cereal with water. And that's the type of thing a demon would do. It's like, silly, Uriah tricks us with water. And as well as I had a bedtime routine that was a little bit different. We would brush our teeth, and then my mom would come in with a sword, blessed by the leader of the cult, have me lie on my stomach, and then scrape it down my spine to get rid of the demons. You know how, if you were a kid, and you would think there was a monster in the closet, if you had good parents, your parents would reassure you, there's no monster in that closet. My parents would tell me there is a monster in that closet because you were listening to Linkin Park, allowing negative energy and demons into your soul. They're telling me my nightmares were real. So a little bit ago, I'm gonna pivot from the cult stuff. I got a one-man show about 3 cults, and then the next one is September 27th. I sold out the first 2. Fantastic. Hey. And one thing to let everyone know is that was a show entirely written, created, and a lot of it was just done at this open mic on Monday. So this is like a pop-in open mic, as well as it shows a place where, you can have a future at an open mic. So way back before I started writing about this, I was like a one-liner. And I was actually going across the border from Montreal to New York City. And then I was pulled into secondary inspection. What that means is they take your bag and they start ruffling through it. And based on the material you heard, you do not want a border agent reading this and being like, Uriah, do you have a sword on you? So this is true. I was pulled into secondary. And they're like, is there anything in this bag that we need to know about? And a lot of the times I smoke weed and have edibles on me, but the way I pack my bag is I pack it like I'm robbing my own house. It's like, whatever fits in the bag is what's coming with me. So I don't know if there's weed I have no idea. So she starts pulling out stuff from my bag. She's like, well, you have this microphone. What is this for? I'm like, that's for my podcast. Does anyone listen to your podcast? No? So I started sounding more like a crazy person who talks to himself for no views online. And then she starts pulling out my joke notepads and goes from standing to sitting down and starts reading my jokes. And one of the joke was, I went to the Reagan Hope Ranch and I smoked the joint. I think we all know who won the war on drugs now. One thing is, it's about weed, which is illegal. And second, it's a dig on the border guards for losing the war on drugs. It's like a double whammy. And she's like, so who did win the war on drugs? It's like, you're not getting this joke at all. So she keeps going through and just explaining jokes. I've never been so excited to have horrible handwriting where she's trying to decode what I wrote. I mean, I'm choosing to tell you this now. What we write in our notebooks, half the time, it's we do not want people of authority to read what is in our notebooks. So eventually, she was like, you have all these jokes about marijuana. Do you have any weed on you? I'm like, no. But as it went on and on, she's like, do you have anything to prove you're a comedian? Well, I have Instagram with 86 followers on it. Is that Then I started explaining what I have to do to become a comedian. I got an open mic, but I might not get on the open mic, but then I have to leave and I come back and maybe I'll get on an open mic. There's no industry there. They act like there's industry there. Then there's a comedy festival where you get $70 and you go to this comedy chateau and there's a weird guy with glasses with a guitar that doesn't have it. And the more I start explaining what I have to do to become a comedian, the more it actually sounds like I have concocted a plan to trick them into thinking I'm an open mic comedian and hide the fact that I'm actually smuggling drugs across the border. Which actually sounds like something someone who was actually smuggling drugs across the border would think about. Man, I'm going to disguise myself as a comedian and trick them with jokes about demons. So now, it's in a file. So anytime I go from Canada to America, I do get pulled in the secondary inspection, do a set. All right, fantastic. That's the part. Okay, so I'm going to take off. But I'm going to stay here and watch the whole thing. But I also... I'm about to leave. All right. I'm an artistic director over at the Glendale Room. So if anyone wants to do a one-man show over there, one-person show, produce anything over there, just hit me up, DM me, and then we'll get something started over at the Glendale Room. I've been Uriah. Thank you.
Keep it going for Uriah. Let him